Hello, everybody. It's Awestruck Comics Podcast special edition, Youngblood 2025, due out in October. But what month is this? It's April, Rob.
It is April. It is the
What does this mean? I don't understand this.
Liefeld did something cool. He did something awesome. Comic store is a little angry, but we'll break it down.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
understand.
Youngblood number one. Legacy numbering 92. He didn't put the legacy number on it, but this is what Eric Stevenson came up with. Eric Stevenson told him this legacy numbering 92. I argue with that myself. I'm like, well, maybe. Uh
We're gonna
maybe.
have to we're
Okay.
gonna have to make an Awestruck checklist to
But it's cool. So
match it.
Liefeld in late fall said, I'm working on Youngblood. I got the rights back to Youngblood. I made a deal with Scott Rosenberg, the current rights holder. Uh, they're friendly, that's fine. So he got the rights back to do the comic. And through doing the comic, then now there's movement happening for movies. Liefeld's involved with everything. That's probably how Liefeld got the comics right back. Like, hey, I'll
Mm,
hands-on thumbs up your movie, which you need. You need that. You don't want the creator of your property shitting on you.
right.
So smart move on everyone's part. So he announced it back in the fall. Hey, we're going to do a new Youngblood comic. It'll be great. But as time went on, Liefeld got the first issue done. He got a special done. He got half of issue two done, and he's like, "Man, I kind of want to put this out now."
Mm,
And he looks at the calendar. He's like, "April. April's the 33rd anniversary of Youngblood." So he goes to Eric Stevenson and say, "Hey, what can I do?" And Stevenson was like, "Well, put it out yourself. You still slap the image eye on it, and we'll still put it out in October."
right, because it was announced. It was always announced for October. And what's so funny
Right.
is that, if you're a fan of the show, Rob knows lots of things. We know this, but I feel like he knows some inside stuff that I'll have to ask questions and he has to be coy on it. So that it was just funny because weeks before on our show, we were like, well, like, mate, he's like, I was like, yeah, in October, yeah, Youngblood, yeah, I'm gonna read this and da da da. And you're like, yeah, I'm putting stuff on X, and you're like, well, maybe we'll get it before then. I don't know, who knows? And I'm like, why do we get it before? That doesn't make any sense. It's October. October is the time. And then like a week or two ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, you're like, are you working from home like Wednesday, da da da? And I'm like, yeah, probably. And they're like, all right, I'm just gonna pop over after work.
Right.
And then I was like, what do you mean? I was like, pop over. I was like, not that you're not allowed, but and then he yeah, hand delivered what we're gonna be seeing. I have my pictures of that. And then last week I actually was on Whatnot, and you were watching the Whatnot
I
show, and
just
then
happened to glance it on. I wasn't paying
I
attention.
and I got the Youngblood #1 Shaft team. What was funny was I jumped out into my Whatnot to update my payment information because I guess I had some other stuff in there. I went to buy just the Shaft cover, which is also really good.
Yeah.
And then by the time I came back, I just hit it because he had 9 of these. So there's not many, and then
No,
this one signed. Woo, woo,
that's
woo.
signed. That is a Whatnot exclusive. The whole comic's a Whatnot exclusive. You could only get this comic through Whatnot. And
Yeah,
he has sold variant covers, chromiums, like
we don't
he's
know how
got
many it sold though. Correct? We don't have an idea of the
I
number.
he says it. Usually there's like under 80 printed of any regular cover,
Mm,
and usually under 50 to 20 printed of like any of the chromiums.
mm.
He's got the Mark Spears variant, Virgin, his covers Virgin, different color backgrounds.
Right.
What I got you was the launch cover, which is the first image he showed in this past fall. He's like, "Hey, I got Youngblood back.
Mm.
Boom, here's the image." He used that
Here's
same
the
image for,
image.
yes, the image.
I'm gonna put it in.
So
Ready?
put it in.
Boom.
So here we go. Youngblood, number
Launch
one.
book.
The first Youngblood in like 7 years. The first Liefeld Youngblood book in like 12 years.
So if anyone has this if anyone has this means true fans. We're day
It's
one
true fans.
because this
We
is not going to be the cover in October, more than likely. Maybe
correct.
will.
Correct.
But if it
Not
is,
only
it won't say April.
no, it will
That's for
not
sure.
say Liefeld timed this out because he had that Golden Apple signing in California to
Mhm.
commemorate the 33rd anniversary of both Youngblood and Image Comics. And he timed it to the day when he did the last Golden Apple signing 33 years ago. The
Crazy.
one like
Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
E showed up
Right, right, right. Yeah.
uh, and what's funny is it was the Wednesday before Easter, and this just lined up the way it was the Wednesday before Easter.
Mm.
Kind of funny. Like I remember getting Youngblood the Saturday of Easter. Like I couldn't get to the store because I was in high school.
Oh, okay.
I went to the store on that Saturday, and I'm like, yeah. Actually, the first store sold out. And I remember like, no, where am I going to get it? And we drove to another town and got it. I was like, yes,
Where'd you get it?
a Temdi. We
Tell me.
went to
Okay.
Rainbow. Rainbow was sold out. Rainbow Comics, and then I went to Temdi Comics, and they had it, thankfully.
Yeah, I got my number one in Collingswood because I had like an art studio that I went every Saturday, and part of the art studio like it would be there for an hour for instruction. I don't know what I was doing at that time. I was doing watercolors or acrylics or whatever, and then we went down the street, and then I walked. So that was like my reward, if I wasn't, I was a good kid, whatever. But yeah, I got that. I got it there. What was that called? Was that, I don't know.
Riddle me this.
Yes.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this. Oh my God. I haven't thought about that name in so long. But this is just really cool. Listen, this is kind of the combination of what we've been talking about on the main show, talking about crowdfunding and just like being direct to fan. We watch
Yes.
1 to 2 Liefeld Whatnots. We listen to the podcast. Whenever he drops it, he's
His
really
Facebook page
goofy.
is he's
It's
there, he's talking, he's answering questions.
Yeah, Instagram. I put something up. I put this up. I put something up this week, and then he put it on. I put up the Shaft Battle Zones cover in my idiosyncratic pulp, and that was reposted. So he does engage with the audience, and that's really really fun. And again, there's
And that's
something to the Whatnot, and because I told you, because you owe me money technically for once.
yes.
I usually owe
Yes.
you money.
Mark ordered the Youngblood Vault edition for me.
Yeah, it's coming soon. That's
We're,
a whole other
we're,
episode.
we're saving on shipping. Order it together. That's what you do, man. You got friends, you order stuff together, you
Yeah.
save on shipping. So I ordered this book for us,
Mhm.
ordered a couple of copies, so yeah, save on shipping. That's what we do. We're
Yeah.
not poor, but we ain't rich.
Yeah, really, really cool. But this is just super, super exciting to kind of have this. This is for people that are just basically inside of his circle to really have it. It's a reward. And he's kind of good at this because he just did the last 3 issues of Last Blood, 1 and 2, and then,
Right, final stand.
the final stand, right, number 1. So, but yeah, let's dive right in. This is one of essentially 3 Youngblood evergreen shows. We're going to have Youngblood 2025, Youngblood. We're going to do this next. We'll do the deluxe, and then I have a special to that. Like a side by side because I'm a crazy person and I love versions of things.
Listen,
Yeah,
what we do when we do that side by side, what we're doing for a show, I do for fun.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just love looking at these books. Like Liefeld he's kind of come down on Marvel a little hard lately, deservedly so,
Mhm.
because Marvel's not giving a variety of comics. And like this, the Youngblood is like what we need it right today. This is what we need. This is like the anti-Marvel comic book.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's do it. So this is the launch cover. So I'm excited to have this launch cover. I'm excited to have my own sign cover, but there is something to that Whatnot experience of him talking, hey, there's only so many, it's just for you. And I was like, bought, and you're
You
like,
feel included in something.
and
It's
it
like
came in 2 days. I showed you that. I was like, it came, I don't even understand that. It was like
no,
Tuesday night. I got it Thursday.
their shipping is super fast and like he packs it amazingly.
It's perfect.
And it's
Yeah.
like whatever he packs it in, I hold on to and I reuse that when I sell stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Like that's the really good, really fast.
Here we go. So yeah, so there we go. April 2025. Technically, it's still Image. It feels different, and I guess because again, I have a Youngblood Deluxe, and it's not going to be the same.
Right.
And we talked about this a little bit. Like it's so perfect. It's flat, and it just like I didn't have to use like anything to really keep it open.
Right. You didn't have to set stuff down on it. Like a
Yeah.
lot of comics do. A lot of comics when they're printed today, somebody like if you go to I'm not gonna crap on like a Kablam style company,
Mhm.
they just have they're printing in a way that's great, it's fine, but the books don't lay as good as they can.
Right.
Especially if they're thicker books. This is a thicker book. This is like 32 pages of like pure art.
Yeah, there's no, there's 2 ads in the very, very back, which are, he made the ads essentially, right?
Right. But
Probably.
that's not taken away from what it is 36 pages of paper, 32 pages of story and art.
Right. So yeah,
this is Rob Liefeld, Story Pencils Inks, Juan Manuel Rodriguez for color and
Juanma.
art, Juanma on the cover,
we talk
Chance
about him a
Wolf,
lot.
Chance Wolf, the legacy artist Chance Wolf. He did 5 pages in this. Chance
You
Wolf,
know what
like,
pages? Probably.
I don't.
Okay.
If I went and stared at it, I could tell you, but I don't know it offhand. I don't want to tell people the wrong thing. And then you got Russ Wooten for lettering. Love Russ Wooten, great letterer.
Yeah, who lettered Deluxe. So he's been working with him over a long period of time. Russ Wooten
Yes.
is a
Yeah.
big Skybound letterer. So they're
So
the image of bravery. Image. See that image right there. See
yes,
that?
the image
Show
of
you today.
bravery. You got the big image eye. You got the.
Oh, I don't even know if I noticed that the image eye right there. That's so fun.
It is fun. It's the type. It's the little things that make this book more interesting. We got Spawn to the left, Shadowhawk, Ripclaw, and Dragon.
To the left, to the left.
That's right. Two. It's a shame. I have a team book I'd love to bring in and make that the. They need like a Wildcat stand-in.
Mm.
So first page, double for second page. Look at this, double page flash. Youngblood in a jet. They've done it in like multiple comics. It's almost like a staple of Youngblood. X-Men start off in the Danger Room. Marvel comics start off in kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
Youngblood starts off in jets.
Marvel X-Men in the kitchen. Unfortunately, too much of late.
Yes.
This is continuity to a couple. Well, you'll talk about it. You'll talk about it. But there's a lot. There's a lot dropped in here. Combat, Photon, Starguard, Suprema. There's a lot of stuff being dropped into here. We're
Yeah.
kind of
It's making any Extreme fan go nuts.
yeah.
Like Starguard. I love the Starguard. They were in Supreme. He's got a new version of Starguard. You got Combat and Photon. Synonymously for being the two aliens on Youngblood, whose crash ship, the American government utilized that technology to help advance the Youngblood group
Mm.
and technology for the United States overall. Talks about Suprema. Suprema, I guess, is more of a part of a team. You know, they don't mention Supreme, they mention Suprema though.
Right, right.
But that's cool.
Who was your? Oh, I already know this answer. Who was your favorite Youngblood member?
It's Die Hard. It's always been Die Hard.
I know.
Boom.
And
Look at him.
what's
He's
behind you, Rob? What is that?
what? This behind me, if people want to zoom in on that, that is Die Hard. And what that is from the unpublished cover to Youngblood Volume 2, number 13. It's an awesome piece. Never got used. And when it showed up on eBay, I bought it.
Woo. There
Look
it
at
is, baby. That's really fun.
And down here in the corner, you can see it. Loop, let me. Is a little bedrock sketch, little in pen. Liefeld did that for me the first time I met him back in 1996.
Hmm.
I'm like, can you give me a sketch? He's like, yeah, sure. He just picks up a pen, just a blue ballpoint pen, little scrap of paper, and does that. And it's awesome looking.
Oh, you
But,
just
yeah.
have it. You just have that inside the.
Yeah, I just put it in there so I can have them both together.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Take it. We'll take
Cool.
it. Yeah, Shaft's always been my man. I just always love the design. I always impressed with any costume. There's some costume changes in this, which I feel like every time I see him in like a different costume, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because these are all rich people. Why wouldn't their costumes like change? Why wouldn't you, wear something a little different or something clean?
Now, this Xerxes character, is that a new character, or
That is
was
a
that
new character.
new?
I like him. I like that
Megalodon.
it's a weird costume. It's like rounded where Strife would be pointy. That's who he reminds me of a little bit aesthetically as a Strife.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I like that, but we don't know anything about Xerxes. I like that this ship they're on is called the Megalodon, named after the prehistoric shark that grew to 50 feet. The star of the movie The Meg.
The Meg.
The
2.
Meg. And the
Meg
star of
2.
Meg 2. Yes.
Real quick about the coloring on this. We've been talking a lot, in our main shows about coloring. This is probably Juan's third, fourth, fifth book, maybe with him. At least a third, right? So this
Outside
is
of Marvel. Did he do Deadpool team up, or at least one of the colors on Deadpool
yeah,
team
I'm
up?
pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But we feel that there's a much different marriage. You'll see it on the side by side. Like, but the way we prefer the coloring of Brian Murray on the classic, but we're okay with the new coloring. But it's new coloring on what was more analog Liefeld, because he never really stopped working and has worked with so many different colorists. And always leveled up in. This is my favorite colorist for him.
For sure.
There's a lot of flourishes in this, and I think he leaves room for him. You get to see a lot of different textures in this, which you wouldn't normally see.
Liefeld leaves room for this colorist to just embellish. Look at the background. Yeah, that looks like a real painting with the clouds and stuff. But also, he knows to stay away from Liefeld's lines. Like, hey, if I'm putting ink line down, let me be able to see that ink line.
Hmm.
But if I'm not near the ink lines, well, I'm just going to paint this thing.
Right, 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 right. And that's kind of the thing that is a bigger situation.
Right. Bam, another team shot. Give
Yeah.
them to me. Give me the double paste spreads.
Give them to me. This is here's another like meta. The world is watching team. Let's make them proud. Correct. Like that's very meta for me. And I'm like, yes, that's correct. New costume. Yes, thank you. Yeah, just really, really great. Um, this is that and Vogue's costume is a little bit different. Everyone's tweaked a little bit. Everyone's tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, it's classic but tweaked.
Yeah.
That's what we want to say. I mean, that Bad Rock is classic Bad Rock.
Yeah, I love Giant Bad Rock. I love us on the right here. Oh my God. That's so fun. Bad Rock
Yeah.
Tongue? Is that Bad Rock Tongue?
Yeah, he's got a I guess he got a tongue. Yeah.
Bad Rock and Company?
It's hard to talk without a tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, so just the plan. I mean, again, all we want is this. This is exactly what we want.
This is how you start off a Youngblood book. Team
Yeah.
shots and introducing the characters.
Yeah.
Here we are, boom, Chapel. It's the son of the Chapel from the original Youngblood series. That
Mhm.
Chapel got AIDS by the government, shot himself in the head, killed himself, went to hell, comes back as Lord Chapel.
Oh yeah, 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 that's right.
So that a lot happened to that Chapel. This is his
Ah.
son, which may or may not be partially possessed by his dad. Don't know. Interesting. We'll see where the story goes.
All right, there's a bitter visual on Xerxes, literal visual on Xerxes. So,
Yes, I like that
um,
he's gold. It's a
yeah, the hero shots are just ridiculous. So like, we have a full chapel, wonderful. This Die Hard, you probably lost your mind. When I saw this, is
I
all
did.
I thought about. All I thought about was you, Rob, when I saw this picture. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he's giving Die Hard the proper treatment. Die Hard's been my favorite character of Youngblood since the comic scene where I first saw Youngblood. Because he's
Yeah.
like, I think initially they called him a genetic Superman, but now he's more mechanical and genetics combined.
Yeah.
Um,
And Youngblood Strike File that fleshes that a little bit more as well. Youngblood Strike File. We need to do our Youngblood one by one. That'll be a
well, yeah, you're right.
whole thing. Womp.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just a whole lot.
new take.
Coloring
He's
in this is
got like a
ridiculous.
fiery sword and shield. I find that neat. I liked his old shield. It was just metal and it would like pulsate with like purple energy and fly
Yeah.
around. This fire stuff looks cool. He's just chopping off dudes' heads.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy. It's not like fire. It's like some sort of weird energy.
Yeah. Again, just to talk about this is just laying flat on my table over there. And I just think that there's no, it's called gutter law. So when we look at different trade paperbacks and things like that, sometimes why we like singles is that we like the quote unquote floppies because you can have that full openness of this. But for however he's using here, he's used with Last Blood. I don't know if the image is going to feel like that later, so I know.
That'll be very interesting to compare.
I mean, I want to buy that anyway. Like I want to buy that and then same thing. Trying to do the same thing and
This
see how it lays.
this is a
Hopefully, he's able to
printer.
kind of contract that. Hmm.
This is a printer he found. I think they're out of Arizona,
Mm.
and he
Okay.
actually flew there to make sure this was being printed correctly.
Yeah, it's a
He
beautiful
doesn't.
concept. Yeah, book. It's a
Yes.
beautiful book.
Well, Liefeld, I think, worked at a printer briefly, so like he kind of is familiar with at least how it used to go down.
Yeah, I like all the Wanma flourishes here, all the little extra dots. We're not really going to going into what you get the idea. We're not really going to go into page by page and what all the story is doing.
Yeah, the story is they're on the ship and they see this villain and they've been instructed to take him down.
Yeah, but if this is the middle of the book, what I'm saying is that like basically this is laying as flat as this.
Right.
That's a big deal. But yeah,
Hmm.
this is a strife like, but I like the roundness of it. Again, there we go. Everyone's going to get their half quarter page hero shot. Um, this is a massive. I love the scale inside. This reminds me. I mean, we've seen this punch reaction here. I feel like that might be even. Listen, you're allowed to. It's not really swiping yourself. This is basically right. And that's okay.
No,
So
if you have a page that fits another story, use it. I pointed out to Mark that I had seen this page in an Echo 92 preview. That now Liefeld doesn't have to do Echo 92 because he has the rights to Youngblood back.
right. And
Even
that
though
was right.
even though that character Bo is in Last Blood. This is Shaft. This looks
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, I like this. This is super fun, you know. And again, everyone's going to get their introduction, you know, and then usually 1 to 2 to 3 pages.
There are
But
people on Liefeld's podcast and Whatnot show who did not buy his comics back then. There are
right,
new fans. There are Deadpool fans coming in. You know,
right.
what's that? When RoboCop, what's his name? Peter Weller. When he shows up to Golden Apple Comics signing, he brings his son, who's a Deadpool fan. And what's
Mm,
he buy? He buys Youngblood. That's
right.
the new
That's right.
fan. So you introduce each character. Here's Youngblood. Here's the team. Here's the villain. Keep going.
Yeah, this panel here was very Last Blood for me. 'Cause first off, Last Blood's like amazingly fun, violent, you know.
Yeah.
But that felt, you know, again, it's very current. It's, you know, I mean, think about this. And when we look at some of the artists who, you know, if you looked at this and then again, like I said, within a show or two, we're going to look at uh 33 years ago, you know,
Right.
you have to think about like who looks as similar or better, or you know, I don't know who could have held that consistency from that period to that period. This is just crazy, and it's just such a fun reward. Look at that Shaft, Jesus. It's such just a fun reward that we're getting this because we're in the sphere. I mean, it is for
Yes.
everyone. It's for sale, everyone. You know, go on. You know, if you don't have a Whatnot account, it's fun. You know, there's lots of different auctions, lots of stuff to see. You know, it
Yeah.
has it has
What's
it's a live eBay basically.
it's a lot of eBay, and what's great about these new books that he does on Whatnot, it's like a Kickstarter that you don't have to wait for, because
Mm,
Liefeld can afford to make these books, and then we just buy them. You know, I pre-ordered this one by like a week, maybe, but a Kickstarter you could fund it. I still got to wait a month for the Kickstarter to end, and then they have an endless amount of time to
two
ship that
years,
book to you.
right,
Some,
right,
some people, never get stuff at all.
right.
So it's a valuable thing. It's a rarer thing. I like this new character, Vandal. He
Mm,
comes in just slashing and slicing and dicing. Uh, and I don't know how he talks. He has a very weird lettering, and he makes these weird sounds. And I tried to get Rob to do it on the Whatnot show, but he wouldn't.
right. Snaggedy snaked. Is he rhyming? Is he like yeah?
And he makes these weird sounds, like Vandal makes sure the pain will last. Grr. Like I don't know, is that what he's
Right.
doing? Grr. Is it like a Skizik from a Dark Crystal?
Dark
You know
Crystal.
that? You know.
No,
Hmm.
please don't. that's that's like my ears hearing rebar. You know,
Yeah,
that's blah.
that's your nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, no good, no good.
But I
But
like I
again,
like Vandal. He first showed up in Brigade Remastered Flipbook. Has a book Airborne Liefeld's eventually going to do,
mm,
and
I have
Vandal
that.
shows up in that.
I have that. You
That's
were
good.
over, and then I was showing you the part of the collection, and then you saw that.
I'm
Oh, you
like flip
flipped
it
it
over,
over, and
Mark.
I'm like, I forgot about that. Hairborn,
Yeah, yeah.
with an H.
An H.
Uh,
Airborne. It's a good name. It's like a good like
yeah,
Airborne, but you're the heir to this kingdom of supervillains. Airborne, like Airborne is just good.
yeah.
Smart.
It's this is just it's very. I mean, again, all this is just look,
And
man.
all
It's just pure ridiculous action.
this and the dialogue's good. Like you don't think like some
Macho.
people don't think he's a good writer, but like he's writing this good. The dialogue's good. There's no,
Yeah.
sometimes people who are real writers, like they're trying to overdo it. Like this is a comic book. Like we're looking at the action first, then we're reading the dialogue.
Right.
You
And
know,
he's written a lot of stuff over the years, but yeah, it's
he
all
has
there's no wasted panel. There's
no,
not too much. Was not too much. And we talk about this when we go through our review sometimes. We're like, I get to this page and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to, I get knocked out by how much like, and again, I understand there may need to be exposition. However,
right. And you got
not
20
really.
pages to tell a story. Live like I can just keep drawing panels. I don't have to fill up a panel with word balloons. I can just draw another panel. I can just add
Right.
another page. Who cares? Marvel's like giving you this strict amount of pages, and it's just getting less and less value for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is Lieutenant Colonel Bravo. This
Hmm.
is Shaft's dad. He first appeared in Youngblood #6 on the Akira cycle, the
That's
Youngblood
right.
version of Akira cycle. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's kind of cool is you got this guy that looks like Cable. You got Vandal, looks a little like Deadpool, not quite. It's got something mentally wrong with him, like Deadpool.
Mm.
And then you got Xerxes, is a little bit like Strife. So it's almost like Liefeld's Marvel trifecta of villains
Right.
or characters like represented in Youngblood. May or may not be the case. Could just be a coincidence, but it's pretty neat. And then this guy, this Xerxes, smaller than Bedrock, ends up kind of kicking his ass.
Mm.
Did we even know Bedrock could bleed? I didn't.
Did you know Bedrock could bleed?
Do you bleed?
Do you bleed, Bedrock? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe.
Uh, Liefeld's good at whenever he does underwater scenes. Go back. He will. He does like making the bubble panels.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did that in the Brigade issue he did a couple years ago, and he did it in his Aquaman story in that Superman book Jeff Loeb wrote.
Oh,
Remember the
that's right.
Christmas issue?
Yeah, yeah. I featured that near Christmas this year too. That was a fun book, man. Every
That's a
three
great book.
pages was it was everybody. It was like Madware, Art Adams, I think
And
Ringo.
right, Ringo.
Ooh. Yeah,
Great book. Great book.
it's an intense book. So now we got to bring it home. Got to bring it
Yeah.
on back.
We don't know what Chapel's looking at here. Chapel's walking down into the hull of the ship, and he's like, "Sweet Jesus, it can't be."
Mm,
Don't know what that is. Could be anything. I have a hope. I have something in my head. Is it what I think it is? I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know.
I don't want to spoil things in
Is
case
it
it is true.
green?
No, what I'm thinking is blue.
Mm,
So we'll talk about it. Talk about it afterwards.
it's Roman. Um, here we go. Your boy.
Boom. Ugh,
I just smiled just thinking of
dude.
I just smiled thinking about you, Rob. There's this whole book, and I was like, look at that.
Yes.
Look at
I got,
that.
I got chills. I'm like, Supreme. Finally, Supreme.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite characters of all time. Like, I love Supreme. I've pitched Supreme. Like, I want to write. I have so many ideas for this character.
Supreme Reckoning. Supreme came, was that Youngblood 2 was Supreme? Or that was Prophet?
3.
Okay, Supreme 3.
Prophet was in Youngblood 2, but the flip book was Shadowhawk. Supreme 3 flip book is Supreme 0.
Right. Got it. Yep. And then
He should
that's
have
it.
he
Just
should have called up Brian Murray and be like, "Hey, can you color this one page?"
right. And
Right.
then just a little end page there. Very simple, you know. Very simple.
So we
And
got
then
Supreme, we got Suprema, and Kid Supreme.
that's it. That's it.
That was it,
That's it.
dude.
And then this was mine. This was what I thought was crazy is that I ordered it literally, and I guess I forgot my Instagram is. I think I signed into Whatnot from Instagram, so that's my Instagram. It is from Crack Pulp, but just crazy, yeah, man. I got this, order on the 22nd. Boom, got it right there, signed. 2 days. Look at that cover.
Yeah, there's like
Woo.
5 covers in a print available so far, and each one is awesome. The print's great. The print. You were thinking about getting that, weren't you?
Yes.
The neat thing about the print is it's a takeoff of the Youngblood promotional ad from like 1987,
Mm.
but they replace Riptide with Suprema.
Right. Yeah,
Riptide.
I gotta check the size of it. I want them to do lots of print. I want them to do lots of I feel that merchandising should be a piece of this new
Merchandising.
wave. Merchandising. So, but that's it. So again, like 5 months early, 6 months early, just
So we are getting number 2 in May. Probably towards the end of May. Could be the middle of May. Don't know. But we are definitely getting number 2.
my birthday.
Around San Diego Comic-Con, we are getting Giant Size Youngblood number 1.
Is giant size before 2, or we're getting 2 then giant size?
We're getting 2. We might even get 3. Who knows? Liefeld's pumping these out. And the cool thing is, getting this book now is worth getting. One, just for the rarity. But when Image does their version of it, things are different. He's using different pages. Like he would draw pages and then decided he didn't like it as much as another take. So they're not better or worse. He just changed his mind, but drew another page. So the Image version will have alternate pages.
Oh my
Not
god.
alternate facts, alternate pages.
Oh my god.
And probably new covers. Who knows?
There's definitely new covers. Listen, it's gonna be fun for us. And look, this has the proper placement of logo. Wonderful, covering a bit of the logo.
Yeah, let's talk about this cover.
I love
Proper
this
placement
cover,
of the
man.
logo.
Oh,
Character front and center. The guys behind them slightly colored off, little gradient change. Placement of the corner box, perfect,
Yeah, everything's
perfect.
perfect.
Marvel should like take a lesson from this. And you got the nice Liefeld, like his actual chisel signature and the colorist signature. Like that's
Mm.
in between the legs. I hate personally anything covering art. Don't give
Yeah,
me a
yeah.
logo covering art. Don't give me anything. I mean, you got a signature covering art, but what are you going to do with Liefeld's signature?
I'm not mad at it. No, no. But then he also uses a cool marker, and yeah, it's see through, you know. But
Yes.
Juan color is my favorite colorist for him, and just everything. So yes, and I might still buy that Shaft one too, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know,
It's
like
tempting to
it's
just get them all. Like
yeah,
it is. It's tempting.
yeah,
Yeah, this was great. This was great. I don't think I've had this much fun reading a book in a while. Like there's
yeah.
certain
It
books
was
that I
definitely
love.
worth the hype, and just the fact that I feel this is for us. It's for me and you, and the handful of people that got it. You know, people don't know about this that you can go
You
get this ahead of time. You
you
know,
say a handful, but like this has been a huge hit for him.
right? But handful in comparison to who's buying, who knows about like Absolute Batman. You know what I mean? Like who knows about the books that are out currently,
Oh yeah, he made a
relaunches.
name for himself. He put this out there in a way that like I didn't hear almost like this for me superseded Superman month, Superman week because it came
Mm,
out the same week as the Superman special,
right.
and this was better for me. This was more important for me
Yeah,
and for a lot of people.
this is us. Yeah, this is where I feel like Youngblood for me was a major genesis because we I was what you were 15.
I was 15,
Yeah,
which makes you
14.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would have been. But yeah, just the fact that I know where I was when I got it. It was a seminal book. I read it over and over, flipped it, read it,
yeah.
flipped it, read
It
it.
was just so different because it wasn't a Marvel book. We were so into X-Men and Batman and Spider-Man, but to see a universe that wasn't any of those things
Mhm.
was amazing. It was amazing. And as soon as you get the first issue of Youngblood, it's like, and we'll talk about it more, I guess, when we do the comparison. Better paper, better colors, better pizza,
Yeah.
Papa John's. This was a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I don't know what he could nothing he could have did better for this book.
No, no, no.
No,
And
and you and
again,
I always have suggestions for how to do books better. like
yeah, exactly, exactly. But no, this was everything, and I feel again, just literally feel like one of the club to have that. We're in the Rob Liefeld like fan club almost. Like it just reminds you of the old school, you know,
yeah,
uh, Ovaltine. You know what I mean? Like just like
no,
it's
there was a Liefeld fan club with the first issue of Youngblood.
mhm,
I feel like we're in it now without having to send in our $3
right. I'll
or
send him
whatever,
$3. Well, I just sent him a little more than
a little more than
$3. So but yeah, so stay tuned. We're gonna do a side by side, So, but
yeah.
thank you,
Thanks for
Rob. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. You know,
right.
I've been in the sphere of it at times, but you definitely got me tuned in to watching that Whatnot show. It kind of doesn't matter where I'm at. It'll be on, and then it'll be on for an hour. You know what I mean? It'll just be on, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. But having that fan engagement, I think this is kind of the next. This is it. This is the next
Nobody
level.
and nobody does it like him for the fan engagement. Like there's a lot of other people
No.
I follow, and like there's other artists I like, and if I tune into one of their shows, I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Mhm.
like nobody else has a podcast. And think about all his peers. There's no Andy Kubert podcast. Eric Larson
Right.
shows up occasionally on a Savage Dragon one, but those guys kind of fumble and don't even know like great questions to ask them. Sorry,
Right.
not
Right.
sorry.
Right.
I actually like those guys, but like you're not seeing, McFarlane shows up on some podcasts, but like he doesn't do anything.
Well, McFarlane, it's always purpose based. It's always like I got this, and listen, I understand what promotion is. I got that. I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But a lot of what especially the thing that we kind of get off on what he's doing is just literally just like the excitement from it.
yeah,
We're infectious. The whole thing of the positivity of it, of the sharing of this, of sharing the knowledge of that. That's why we have, our handful of people that we know or people that I didn't even know were fans of us talking in a comic book store 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
20 some years ago. And then tell us about how they would watch us talk. And I'm like, well, you can talk on YouTube now.
Yeah.
So
Now we're on YouTube.
it's
Now you don't have to. Now you don't have to
right.
creep behind us at the comic store.
Yeah.
You could just.
Yeah.
Now we invite it. We want to engage.
Yeah,
And,
we,
and
we
and
we want that. We love the love of it, and just like of just that excitement and continued excitement. And listen, and we're super excited that this is back. It feels like a new, it's a new Genesis, and
and
it's
we did hold off on this. Like the instant urge is to read it, talk about it. But we're like, no, let's give everyone a chance to read it, get it on their own.
mm,
I feel like everyone who really wanted it has it now. And once I seen another person or two like put up their smaller reviews, like not quite as in depth as us, I'm like, well,
right.
it's time for us to dig in and let people know what we think, and what we think is thumbs up,
Yeah,
Awestruck approved.
yeah, major. And then I mean, if you want to, again, check into his whatnots. If you'd rather, the money's going right to him. It will be to you in 2 days. It's kind of crazy that comes to you that fast, one to
You
two
know,
days.
he said he's using that money, and he made out really good. In fact, this might be one of the most profitable books of this year.
Mm,
This book is more profitable than Jim Lee's Batman.
sure.
Guarantee.
Yeah.
Guarantee. So he's using that money. He's hiring newcomers like Seth DeMoose to do a Bedrock comic,
Right. Right.
which he again will sell first through Whatnot. Like he's just transferring that money to pay for more people, paying Chance Wolf, paying Ron Rodriguez. Who knows?
Right. Getting Mark Spears on that, which is giving that's interesting because that's going to give there's a different fan base for him.
Yeah.
So then now they might be it might be for someone getting a Mark Spears situation and they're like, what's this Rob Liefeld guy do? You know what I mean? And it's not a joke, you know what I mean? Like it's literally that it could be that. It could be someone because someone who's seeing Mark Spears stuff through monsters and that stuff, then this could be their first Rob
Mark,
Liefeld comic.
you'd be amazed at how
Great.
many people don't know about things. Like I
Oh
could be
yeah.
on Whatnot the other night, and someone's like, "What? Rob Liefeld has a Whatnot? What? Rob Liefeld's doing Youngblood?" Like we're just in it. We're in this world, so we
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
know when everything's happening. But
Yeah.
most people don't. I barely ever repost our podcast. Horrible, I know. But like Liefeld does it every hour on the hour when he has a podcast. I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, that's how you do it. I'm
Right.
worried about annoying people, but no, it's just you got to get the word out. And people are missing that first time, that second time. People might not be checking their Twitter all day.
Right. Right. Right.
So I get it. He's smart about it. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been doing it for across what do you say? 5 decades? He's been in
Yeah.
comics for almost 40 years.
Sure. Yeah. And I have a big collection. You see my collection. You see my
Yeah,
Liefeld
yeah.
chronological
Be-
Liefeld collection.
be- Before,
Boris the
before,
Bear,
at one point, I
Megaton.
had over 100 long boxes in my house.
My
I know it was crazy, dude. I, I,
God.
I should have just opened up a store.
Yeah. That's a whole other thing. So, but
So
yes, like, comment, subscribe, share. You
this has
guys,
been Awestruck Comics. You are
Mark Leone
all day. He is. I'm Rob
all
Messick.
day. Idiosyncratic Pulp, Instagram,
I'm Rob Messick on Twitter. We're Awestruck Comics on Facebook and Gmail. Nobody uses our Gmail. Nobody uses our Facebook.
or Instagram. I need to use our own Instagram. That would be helpful.
Yeah.
So,
So check us out.
let's get to it. Yeah, stay tuned. This is one of three Youngblood. Next up is going to be the Youngblood. We're going to do a side by side of the deluxe versus the original printing. Versus well, you'll see. Stay
We'll see.
tuned.
And we did review Last Blood.
Yes, Last Blood
Oh,
one.
and also we have a weekly podcast that we do both reviews of new comics
Mm.
and we do comic news. So Awestruck
Comic news,
Comics.
which we target for an hour. It's typically 3 hours
We
of
try.
news.
Yeah.
Typically 2+.
We just
But
love talking about comics. We're sorry.
it just goes into listen. I feel that the people's brains that the podcast that both you and I enjoy are similar in the fact that where they just go tangent way out. You're like, wow, how'd they get to that? And then bring it back.
We
So we are very good at doing that. We're very bad at doing that. I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. I feel like maybe truck drivers listen to us or construction people, or people trying to get some good sleep.
Some
I
good.
know Milligan says he puts us on. We're like an ASMR.
Oh
We're
wow. Well,
we're, we're comic ASMR.
Yeah. Well, for him, I think he's heard us for 30 fucking years, so he doesn't want to hear it anymore. So he's like, these guys are therapy. I get it. I get the idea, you know? So, all right. Well, love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and see y'all soon.